Welcome back to another great episode of Comedians in Bed. And as always, this is a place where comedians can be comedians. And I don't really know what that means, but it just sounds like something you should say on a podcast. And as always, I give an introduction for our next guest. Our next guest, me and him was on a show together, and this dude freaking killed it, did a drop-in set, and he did his thing. And I was like, I'm going to give it about 3 weeks until I ask to be on a podcast. If I ask next day, it might come off a little weird. I always try to do that. I don't like to be weird. Okay. I'm black. I'm beautiful. I'd rather stay that way. I don't want to be weird. Our next guest, he has such a beautiful name. All right. I told him that before we got on the podcast. I was like, this sounds like a beautiful biracial name. In my head, it's such a beautiful name. He's traveling the world. So I know you know his name as well. Please, everybody, give it up for Kieron Harrell.
Woo! What up? What up?
What's going on, my man? How you doing?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Pretty good. I've never told you this, but when you was doing your jokes, I noticed that you do your jokes and you tell them with like your glasses. You tell your jokes like you look over your glasses. It makes it funnier. Like,
thank you, brother.
And I think it's because I wear like work glasses so my eyes and I don't have a headache, but all my family members like wear glasses, so I've never wore glasses. So like when you was looking over, I'm like, man, it reminds me of my little sister or my mom.
Hell yeah, it helps emphasize certain jokes. It's like
yeah.
You're like stern or something in the joke, and I'll look over and it's like a universal thing. I'm like, oh, he's being serious right now.
Yeah. So are you like nearsighted or farsighted? What's wrong?
I don't know. Can I cuss?
Yeah.
My eyes. I don't know. I'm just fucked up. My eyes are fucked up. I got the worst eyes. It's all of it. Whatever. I don't know. I know that my prescription is +7, I think.
Yeah. Oh dang. Okay. All right. Yeah.
It's horrible. It's bad.
Now this might be a little personal, but I've never asked nobody this. So I used to, one of my exes, she used to wear glasses and she would take them off when we would have sex, so her like lenses wouldn't fog up. Do you have to do the same thing?
Hell no. I want to see.
Okay.
Keep them on. And I hate it because if I'm a missionary, they'll dangle. I'm like, I don't look sexy right now. I know I don't look sexy. I don't really take them off when we're fucking, but like, I keep them on.
You got to get the strap, bro. You got to get the strap.
Strap. I gotta get the. You remember like in high school and shit, the rec specs.
Yeah.
Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah.
I gotta get them athletic goggles. That's what I gotta get.
These are my sex glasses. That's funny. So had you been to Columbus before when we did our show, or was that your first time?
Yes, I'm from Cincinnati. I'm born and raised in Cincinnati.
Okay.
I started comedy out in Chicago. The first time I ever did it was 2018, but I've been going back and forth for a couple years
now. What high school did you go to in Cincinnati?
Northwest.
Okay. I don't remember that one. I used to run track, so I know like most of the schools. Yeah.
We were Cole Rain's rival. Everyone knows Cole Rain.
Say that one more time.
Cole Rain High School, the Cardinal, the Red School. We were their rival. So people usually don't know Northwest, but they know Cole Rain.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. You close to there. Okay. All right. Cool. I love Cincinnati, man. I do. I like their comedy scene so much. I feel like it's so slept on and underrated. Do you feel the same? Do you feel the same way? I know you're in Chicago now, but do you feel the same way?
Their scene is fun. I like Columbus a lot too. I like Cleveland a lot, but Cincinnati has some heat there. I love Cincinnati. Yeah. Whenever I'm back, I try to do shows up there. I love it out there.
Yeah. What made you move from Cincinnati to Chicago?
When?
I said, what made you move from Cincinnati to Chicago?
So I lied and was like, I'm gonna go out here for school, but I came out here for comedy. Like the moment that I find my footing, I'm done with school. Like I didn't move out here for school. I'm very much so like a sink or swim person. I'm like all in. So when I knew that I was coming out here for comedy, I just had to figure out what path I wanted to take. Because I did the improv shit for a while, sketch for a while, and then stand up. And I was like, oh, that's the thing. I just didn't know how to get into it. But all the people that I talked to and all the people that I met through all the other performances got me into stand up and helped me
What age did you move to Chicago?
I'm young. I moved age, you know.
The reason I asked was I was going like, were you nervous when you moved? Like, was this your first time living out of Cincinnati?
Yeah, it was my first time leaving, but I like me and my mom didn't get cool till like 2021, and I still hate my like extended family. So I was like,
Yeah,
I want to leave. Like I'm dying to get the fuck away from you people. So no, there was no nerve. I was like, I want to be gone. I don't want to be close to y'all at all.
yeah. So wait, did you actually go to school when you was in Chicago, or you just said you were going to school?
I went to the
Okay,
bar.
okay. So I always tell people like college, like you learn how to hustle like as an adult. So like how was that learning how to be an adult at the same time while trying to like pursue your dreams in a bigger city than you ever been?
It was cool because I'm chaotic. I'm all around, like I'm chaotic, and so the city is also chaotic. So I'd be losing my mind in Ohio, and I'm like, what the fuck am I like? It's too quiet. Like my ears hurt and shit here. So when I moved here and I got to run around, in the dorm when I was in school and I was in the dorms my freshman year, I wasn't doing shit. I was just like, let's have sex, let's go party, let's do whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then I met a bunch of people that also came to Chicago to be artists, and then that ended up helping down the road. But it took like me to recognize like, oh, like I can't. What are you doing? You're just having fun, and you came out here for the reason to figure out what you want to do. Lock in. But then I met a bunch of people along the way that once I got serious, I had like the connects and
Yeah.
start.
I have aspirations to take my artistry to Chicago, and I think you just made me realize why. I have anxiety, and Chicago works perfectly for my anxiety. the,
Yeah,
the chaoticness of just everybody moving so fast and stuff. I'm like, yeah, this fits me.
it makes the world when everything is fast. I'm like, okay, I'm moving normal. But in
Yeah,
Ohio, I was like the only nigga turned up, and I'm like, what? I'm like, is something wrong with me? And then it's like, no,
yeah,
you're in Ohio. Like you gotta leave.
yeah. That's
Come back.
crazy. Yeah. So, being in Chicago, who was who was Kyron when you first got to Chicago, as opposed to who is Kyron now?
Like when I first got here, I had an afro still. Uh, I had an afro, and I wasn't drinking alcohol. I quit drinking alcohol. I had like again, I hated my family. They fucking hurt my feelings. So I was drinking like young. I was drinking everything young. So then when I came out here, when I was in college, I didn't drink all like while I was in college. And then I was heavily on improv and sketch. I was like mad. Like I was like a really like upset person. Always like college was cool. People fuck with me. It was fun. Like you would see me. There's people that still run to me. Like, didn't you go to DePaul? And I'm like, yeah. I would always see you like taking some group to like. I would. So I've always been like that leading type of thing. But internally, there was a lot of hurt that I hadn't processed. And then through comedy, I was like, oh shit. There's a way to talk about something that bothers you. It's real big, but you can minimize it and point at it and laugh at it, and in a way that's healing. Then I mean, I guess like now I also am like part-time alcoholic and shit, and I drink and everything. But still, I feel like I think every year, if you don't look back at who you were a year ago and go like, he was dumb as hell, then like you aren't, because I think that first getting here kind of stupid as fuck. And then like now, I think I've learned a lot. I think I'm smart. I know how to manage myself. But next year, I should think that this version of me is stupid as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you? And correct me if I'm wrong if you don't. Well, how do you approach telling your personal business on stage and making it in a way that's funny?
I think so. Okay, that's a good question. I think that like when I started, even when I was doing like improv and sketches, a lot of my shit would be like, this is how I react to breakups. This is how I react to people being mean to me. And so it was always just me. Like it's very easy to see that I'm a sensitive person. Like it's very easy to see because it's all the things that I talk about. But then it's just like, well, what's kind of absurd Where's the absurd part of the sad thing? Because what do they say? They say comedy is tragedy plus time. It's like if you just give me like a month and a half, I can find something absurd in it. Like that story about my ex. I don't know if you remember, but I got the story about my ex and her dad trying to sue me. That's like real. And so then like that's real and it's personal. But then I didn't write back the joke that I said that I wrote back. I wrote back something else, but I take that real moment and then just punch it up with absurdity so it gets a laugh. It's real as hell.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you feel if it don't necessarily go well? Because that night I don't know if that's my first time, but I told that joke about my ex, and usually like in the beginning it's not nobody's really laughing. I think I need to change saying that she's illiterate to can't read. I think that it might get a little bit more laughter or whatever, but then once I go into it, then they start laughing, which is fine by me. But like when I guess because I don't care, but like when I first don't hear the laugh, it's like, okay, I know you're gonna laugh later. But how do you approach it? Like when you are talking about something personal and it might not go well?
It depends. Like that all depends for me because my opening 3 or 4 jokes, I've been doing that shit for like 2 years, and I've just hammered it out to where it works perfectly. You get to know a lot about me. So like I open, depending on how long I'm doing, if I'm and I did like 20 or something that whatever. So like I was like, okay, I have time to do my normal shit. So I open with the short film. Boom, I've been cheated on and that hurt my feelings. And then I go my parents and how my mom loves the foster kids more than me. Boom, I got mommy issues. Then I go into like me not being a tough black man. Boom, I have issues on masculinity. So then when all that's established in the beginning, and those are the tried and true. I've been hitting them for 2 years. Then that gives me space to play and all the stuff that I'm going to bring up later because you'll already have like that context. As a person.
I think that night that joke hit for me because I was high. I mean, I'm always high, but I was high and I really didn't care. Just really didn't care because I don't think. I mean, I do be that. My pace normally be that slow if I'm like super high, but like. Yeah, normally I try to tell that beat a little bit more upbeat, but
I like your pacing was hilarious. Your pacing I like because I'm so not slow and organized. So whenever I see someone do that, I'm like, oh, it's a murder fest because everyone's holding on to every word. They want to listen. I'm loud enough to where people, if they don't want to listen, they don't have to. But like when you're quiet, you command the room, and it's like I love watching that shit.
Yeah, sometimes it works. Sometimes I'm still trying to find it because the voice I'm talking in right now isn't my normal voice. My voice is normally deeper, but then when I realize when I go on stage and I talk in the mic and I talk in my normal voice, sometimes it don't hit as much. And I'm trying to figure. I think it might be the tone of my voice. I'm not really sure as to why, but it just don't hit as much. Sometimes people make a joke about me up here and they say that my voice is too sexy. So I don't know. Like I don't know if I need to. I don't know. It's something I've been like playing with and try to notice. What's something that you've been playing with on stage that you'd be like, okay, if I do this, I get laughs. If I do this and I don't get laughs. Like for me, like what kept my attention on you was the fact that you were looking over your glasses. I had a connection with you that way. So like, what's one thing that you try to do?
One thing that I do a lot, and it's just like, I don't know when I started doing it, but it's just like in my head, is I'll like go up, I'll immediately say something, and then I'll call one person for something. They don't have to do anything, but I'll just be like, I'm looking at you. And now they know, and then their whole table is laughing, like that's our friend. And then I have that whole table. And then if they're laughing, then why wouldn't everybody else be laughing? And like, so that's the thing where like I can't help, because like when I'm up there, I can't help. I feel like if you get off stage and don't learn anything, then you didn't do your job. Like everyone should laugh. That doesn't even need to be said. Like, duh, that's your job. But like if you leave and no one learned anything, I feel like you didn't do your job. And so I want people to be in a conversation with me and learn about me. And so I'm really just about like connecting as quick as I can. You don't got to agree with shit that I'm saying, but can you see where I'm coming from? And not like, can you see my point, but like, do you understand why the person that I've disclosed to y'all would be thinking this shit? Does that make sense?
Yeah. How do you stay out of your head if the set doesn't go as planned? Like some people may come up to you and be like, oh man, that was a good set, but then you might have had personal goals during that set and you'd be like, I didn't really How do you stay out of your head?
I don't. I don't. I be mad as hell. Almost every. I could name on like one. I could name on like one hand sets I think I've killed. Like most sets, I'm just like it was good, like great set, very happy with it. But I could do better than that. I could do better. I'm not a satisfied person. I don't know what that's like to be satisfied. I'm always like okay, but I could have yada yada yada. I'm in my head all the time and shit like that.
Yeah. I don't know why. I remember I came into. I don't know why I thought that you were from Youngstown. I don't know why I thought that. Do you do a lot of shows up there?
I did a show in Youngstown, but I did a show in Youngstown over the winter, and that was my first time there. So I don't know.
Maybe it just might have been. It might have just been a show, and I'm like, oh, somebody from Youngstown, because I used to live in Youngstown. I used to go to school up there, so that's why. Anytime I see somebody be in Youngstown, I'll be like, oh shoot, another one. All right, cool, we made it out. That's great.
Yeah, because who knows? Yeah, you would have to be from.
Yeah, man. Youngstown is built differently. How did you build your social media presence? You know, you have a lot of followers. What time and efforts did you take to build that up?
That all came in 2016. When I started doing sketches on there, and my first one went like stupid viral. Like it got like 750,000 views, and then from there I was just like, oh, don't waste it, because it's like 2016. People are figuring out Instagram. If you're doing videos on Instagram, that's like unheard of. And so then I was like, okay, we'll do it once a week. We'll hammer it out. I'll collab with people. I'll do all this, and then I just had to keep building it. But then in 2018 or 19. I got like just real mindful and started hating social media. So I erased so I used to have 26,000 followers, and I just erased my shit for a year, and then a bunch of people left. And then I was like, I'm such an idiot, because then I came back and I was like, wait, no, I'm still here. And it was like, we only half rock with you now. And so I've been trying to figure out and balance my engagement and getting my followers back. And I feel like I'm kind of in the same boat as most people, because sometimes it'll just be no engagement like at all on anything. So like even though the number's there, sometimes it'll just be a dud. But like when I had it when it was hot and I was doing like them sketches like once a week, it was amazing. So I think the thing is really just consistency. That's it. But yeah.
I really feel like social media is like the baddest hoe. And the reason why I say that is because when she's giving you so much love, you was checking that phone all the time. Like you checking it, but when she don't give you no love, you still check that phone, but you like, oh shit, all right.
And it hurt when it's dead. It hurt. Feel like your lady leaving you already. That shit hurts.
You be like, I remember I had one go viral. It might have got like 600,000 views, and every time I opened up my phone, I had like at least 10 new followers every time, and then now it's just like, man, did we get one this week? What do we do wrong? Like,
right.
So
why can't we go back to once was?
Yeah, you gotta like work your way. If there could be a fun, that dopamine high. Like, how do you, since you do have a lot of followers, how do you, if you do, control your dopamine? Like, because every time you're looking on that phone, you trying to get that high. How do you keep yourself sane? And the reason why I do ask that is because our brains are working all the time. Like, you could be walking down the street and come up with a joke. So how do you keep those dopamine levels normal?
When it comes to social media now, and it took me a while to accept it, it's just like now, just assume that everything is going to flop. And just assume that everything's going to flop. That way you're actually grateful when something does do well. Instead of being like, finally, it should have happened. It should have been like this. No, it's just like, cool, it happened. Didn't expect it to, and that feels good. I think that's the main way that and then also I try to not look at my contemporaries too much. Because I hate how everyone goes like comparison is the thief of joy. And like, yes, it is. But like in comedy, you must compare. Like there are people that you started with. You want to see what shows they're doing. Like you just want to see. It's not like you're like I should be them. But it's like, well, what are they doing? And I feel like I've earned that as well. That's a real like human thing that occurs. And so I try to get that as much as I can because I'm real competitive. So I'll start shit I'll start a marathon with somebody in my head and they don't even know. They have no idea.
Yeah. I actually had to monitor that too. Like, I don't even really look at nobody's stories. I only look at like the first 3 stories that are up there, and then after that, I'm off.
Yeah.
Because when you look at everybody else's stuff, it's like, oh, why not me? And it's just like, all right, get the fuck out of there. Smoke a blunt. Let's write some jokes and let's get on with our day.
Yeah. Focusing on yourself is truly so important. You can like see some blueprints for shit, but no one's posting their blueprints. They're posting the finished product. And now you know about the finished product.
I guess probably because I'm in Columbus, we don't get that many club opportunities, I guess. But I'll post the bad shit. I'll post it just to let you know I'm still here. And I hope that you think it's horrible, because then 5 years from now, you'd be like, oh, that nigga grew a lot. So that's the way I see it. Like, we gonna consistently train ourselves to do this because it's important, whether it sucks or it's good or whatever. It is what it is, and we just gonna go from. That's how I be seeing it, because I really don't give a fuck about social media. I didn't have social media until I started doing comedy. I have finally gotten over it, got rid of it, and then it was like, no, you need this for comedy, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's something I don't care about, for real, for real.
It is. It's absurd, but it helps. Like, it does help. And there's so many people out there that got nothing on stage. We got 1 million people on their phone, and so then clubs will be like, "Well, business-wise, this is great. You'll sell it out, and who cares if they don't like you because it's only your people saying it. Who cares?"
Yeah.
It's like, "Yeah, come in, give us your money. Who gives a fuck?"
Go ahead, my fault.
I don't even remember what I was about to say.
With you having such a social media presence and you being light skinned, do you get harassed by women comics in your DMs?
I think I'm safe. I think that women view me women view me as like a safe guy. Because I'm truly, when it comes to, like, because all that like partying, chasing women shit, drinking and fucking up, I was doing all that like before I had my license. And so, like, I really, not saying that I got it, like, not saying like I ain't a man, like I don't get horny, but like it's not like a pursuing factor. There's a lot of white women in Chicago, and they seem to get you in trouble down the line. And so I try to play my cards correctly, and if anything, if they DM and they thirsty, they throwing something, I'll screenshot that and I'll put it in the proof box, and I'll just say that, like, see, if anything ever happens, she was calling out to me. I wasn't calling out to her.
I've had to learn that, man. I don't know, man. I just like to smell nice, and I'm a kind person, and I think sometimes that can get, you wouldn't think it would, but that can get rubbed the wrong way. I've had a couple comics that have flooded my DMs or wanted something from me that I didn't want, and I'm just like, okay, I wasn't expecting this. I just wasn't, because I think, because I love comedy. I love comics. I think with women comics, though, I really love women comics, because what got me into comedy was my mom. She's freaking hilarious. So when I find a woman that is hilarious, I'm like, oh, you one of them ones. Like, I fuck with you. But sometimes I just think, and I get it, I can't blame nobody. I think they just kind of take it the wrong way. It's like, I'm just trying to fuck with you as a person. Like, I'm not trying to fuck you. Like,
yeah, you're just a cool person. Like, how many men have you met? And I'm sure that it's like a billion, but it always makes me wonder, like, especially like a pretty and funny woman. I'm like, oh, men have just ravaged you. Like, they've just done a number. You can't trust me at all. And it's like, but then that's kind of what I like. That's kind of what I like about, I don't know, how I present, because they smell that I'm not coming for them, and I like that. But they have that wall up, because they're like, oh, you wouldn't believe the DMs that I'm getting, and my coworkers that are yelling at me, and I'm like, yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, a little bit. I can't imagine for you.
I had someone tell me, I had someone tell me at our show that we were just friends, and that they didn't want to do anything with me, and it was a comic, and I think what prompted her to say this was because I did invite her over to my house, which contract, like we're just getting to know each other. I don't really like if I invite you over my house, I really fuck with you. I don't let everybody in my house.
Right.
So, and I was just like, we could just listen to music because I collect vinyls. So I was like, we could just listen to vinyls and just talk. You know, I that's just me. And I wasn't thinking, and then that just prompted into, you know, we're just friends. And I'm like, I don't know what made you. I didn't say I wanted to fuck you. I don't know what made you.
Right.
I don't know. Like I feel like sometimes comics forget that we're comics and we're not afraid to say how we feel. I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
afraid to say how I feel off stage.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a big part where it's like, if I want to, I'm going to say,
Yeah.
what are we
Yeah.
talking about? I'm grown. What are we going? Yeah. You remind me of one of my best friends from Ohio. His name is Nick. He's a rapper. And he's the same way because he'll tell me, he'll be like, bro, he'll be like, this girl told me that I should take things slow with her. I'm like, what'd you do? He's like, I ain't do shit. We were just out drinking. And I was like, come back to my house because he's a musician. And so he's
Yeah.
like, we can listen to. And she thought that it sounded like a date. And so when you were saying that, it was so funny because I was hearing, I'm like, Nick, that sounds like you want to fuck. Like it's he's like, I told her I got some wine and shit. I'm like, Nick, that sounds like you're trying to. He's like, no, I'm just. But it's funny because I know people that are also just like, I just want to kick. I like your spirit. I want to kick.
Yeah. But I think I'll be forgetting. I got 4 sisters, so I don't be like. I just be like, nah. I always put people in the friend zone first. Like I'll be like, I call every girl sis. If you can make it out of that, then
Right.
you've done your thing. But yeah, I'll be having 4 sisters. I don't be thinking about. I gotta do better. I gotta do.
It's funny. Don't change a thing. That's hilarious. I love it.
As always, they always do a good job to make it seem like it's your fault, whether you didn't even do nothing.
Yeah. Like they're trying to let you down easy. Like what the fuck? What? I'm already down. You didn't even let me down. The fuck we talking about?
Well, we were talking about this. I think most people would recognize your clips from being at the Laugh Factory. How did you work your way from, okay, I'm in Cincinnati, I'm going to Chicago to pursue my dreams, and now I'm a regular at the Laugh Factory? Like, what was that process?
Long as fuck. I remember, no bullshit. I used to, when I first got my car out here, it took me a couple years to get my car out here. I would just drive to the Laugh Factory just late at night and just sit there and just like look at it and like I believe in God. I'm not religious, but like I have a good relationship with God. And I would pray and just talk to God and be like, show me what I got to do. I know it's gonna take time, but show me what I got to do. Let me meet who I got to meet. And I mean, like I did that like a bunch, especially if I was having like a weird week. If I just didn't feel good, or me and my girl at the time was arguing or some shit, I would just sit there and just be like, well, this, wherever you are right now, is temporary. And we're gonna get to there. I run a show at the Laugh Factory now. If you're ever in town, hit me up. It's the greatest club in the fucking city. Like there's no way around it. It's one of the greatest clubs in the world. Like everyone wants to be on the Laugh Factory stage. It took a lot of work and patience and blinders. That really took blinders because you see people sometimes that, you know, we'll get on the stage and you go like, well, damn, I feel like I should have been past it. They're that whole comparison thing. And so it really just took blinders and just like, well, keep working on your shit because you looking at what they doing isn't gonna make you funnier. And just things like that. And then just establishing good like actual good relationships. Like I'm friends with the managers, the servers. I know everybody there except for the maintenance guy because he comes at 5 a.m. and I ain't allowed in. So it's like establishing like a real bond and love with people that are also at the place helped a lot. But it's what you do on that stage that matters.
How do you stay a regular? A lot of people want to become one, but how do you? I mean, I've never seen no one not, like stop being a regular, but how do you stay a regular?
It's honestly pretty irregular. Like there'll be like a month where and it's just that, and everyone that you're talking to go like that's just the breaks, you know. But like it'll be like I'll have a month hot, just hot. I'm there, everything's there, and then like month, 2 months won't hear a word, and that's just the breaks. And then I go, okay, well I know I'm not going to be there. What I'm going to do? Like what else am I not going to stop because I'm not there? But again, I think it's just a matter of just like follow. I still email. Sometimes I still send them a clip. I'll be like, yep, but I'll send them a clip like me at Laugh Factory, but hey, there's me whenever you want to have me back. And then just not having like no hostility for how bookers get busy. Just been like, you get busy. It's not personal. Like my brain believes that it's personal, so it's like me like unworking that part of my brain and just being like, "Karen, you've been there." Like I have posters hung up of like Laugh Factory flyers that I've been on. I'm like, look. So that whole time when you go like, "I don't work there anymore," it's like, look, just look up. That's why it's here. That's why you put it here, so you don't do that dumb shit in your head.
What have you learned about being a comedian since being a regular at the Laugh Factory?
What have I learned about being a comedian? One thing that I think I've learned that's like I think is semi-important is that the business aspect matters a lot. Because you can be hilarious. And I think that this is relevant in any scene that you're in. We all know someone who is absolutely hilarious. Like the funny, every comic wants to go in and watch them, audiences love them, but they do none of the business. And then we know people that are great at the business, murder, know how to rub an elbow, know how to suck a dick to get to the wherever. But then you get them on stage and they flop. But since they're so good at business and bringing the people in and doing the whatever, of course you're going to keep working with them. And so I think it's kind of finding that healthy spot in the middle. I think that's the biggest thing that I learned about being out here is like, especially because when I dropped out of school, especially when I dropped out, sink or swim, it's like, you know, your mom wanted you to enter, you know, fucking the carpeting business or some shit. I don't know, but you entered show business. Treat it like a job.
Yeah.
Fuck up your job. And also reach out to your bosses, reach out to your coworkers, put in overtime, work extra hours, be nice to your coworkers, offer rides, start your own mini show, do things like that. That the business part is truly so important. Yeah.
How do you make sure in ways that you stay professional?
I think so. My major in college was interpersonal communication, which is like psychology's little brother. And I've like been infatuated with. I started studying psychology when my ex broke my heart when I was 15, and so then I was like, I'm about to learn all this shit. Ain't nobody gonna lie to me again. And I got like really engulfed in it. And then comedy is just psychology and it's interpersonal communication, and so it's kind of a thing of where it's like when you have the knowledge of like how to actually be kind to a person and not be just that kind of fucking person where you're just that, because no one likes that kind of person. So figuring out how to do business but also just be nice, it's so crucially important. So I can come into a room where it's a bunch of people that I know and be like, what the fuck is going on? Make my jokes, fuck you, ha ha ha. But then like on their birthday, send them a message. That like I go like I really appreciate you and thank you for what you've done, and you don't it's not, I haven't forgotten what you have done for me, thank you. Or like if I'm hanging out one night and someone drops and they're like, Karen, you want to go up? And I go, yeah, of course. And I go, thank you. So and I say it like 6 times, thank you, I appreciate it. It's kind of just a matter of that, because I'm still going to be me, I'm still going to be myself and do crazy dumb shit, but I'm going to let you know that when it comes down to the business, you just show me that you have my back and I want you to know that I have yours, kind of.
Yeah. I think I have to work on being more approachable, because when I don't, even before I start doing comedy, I go to a job, I'm like, this is my focus. So I'm like all in on that until I don't even know when I stop being focused. I think probably after I listen to my set about 17 times, then I'll be like, okay, now I can. Because I remember when you first came up to me and you were talking, and then you were like, "Yeah, Tony said you got a show tomorrow." I was listening to you, but I was so not engaged because I was like, "Yeah, I'm writing my set right now." I was like, "All right, cool."
Yeah. And, and I'm so like, "Hey, hi." So when he was like that, I was like, "Okay." I was like, he fucking hates me. Okay. But I kind of get the same way. I feel you on that.
Yeah, I'd be like, so like some people had to point it out to me. Like this year is when I first got it. Like somebody came up to me and we were talking, and then they were like, I noticed you always have your headphones on and you got your notepad. Like you come here and you be focused, right? And I was like, I guess I was like, yeah, I guess I do. And they was like, that's how it's supposed to be done. I was like, is it? Because I feel like I'm kind of being like kind of cold shouldered everybody, like in my own little bubble. Yeah.
People respect the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
It's also like friends help friends. So
yeah.
Like, oh, Ty's my boy. Then it's like, you know.
Yeah. And then afterwards, like a couple weeks ago, some dude, he was like, do you listen to your set after you get done? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, I noticed that about you. He was like, you're doing it the right way. And I'm just like, I don't really like, people had to tell me about how I act
Right.
around when we're in the atmosphere. And that made me be more cautious and be like, okay, maybe 10 minutes, look at your notepad, and then the other be more engaging or stuff like that. So how do you prepare for like your set? Because I like to be kind of like somewhat left alone. Some people like to talk right before you go on stage. Like how are you?
I am definitely I'm a hanger before I go out because in Chicago everything is mainly showcase. So maximum that I can really expect to do out here is 15. I know my 15, and so then
Hmm.
it's like if I have like two new jokes, I'm my job is the night before to know where I'm going to put it in, where like after which part, because then once I get there, I want to go on stage already having fun.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
when because I'm just so not serious or organized that like, but it always seems to work out. Where I go, oh, I want to try that new one, and then be like, remember where you said last night where you wanted to put it in at, and then by the grace of God, it just works out most times. But before I go on, I just want to be just having fun. I just want to be laughing and bullshitting, getting a drink or two. Uh, so I and a lot of people wonder that, but one of my exes complimented me on that because I had a big show on the night of her birthday, and so then I was like, and she always said I never did shit for her birthday. Anyways, this is the same one whose dad tried to fucking sue me. She's just full of fucking hatred and anger towards me. Anyways, so it's her birthday. It's her birthday during the day, right? And then I take her to the spot that she likes. It's real. We had all of our friends. We're hanging out. We hang out from like 2 p.m. The show is at like 9 until like 8:30.
Hmm.
Like I'm not making anything about me. It's your birthday because I already worked on my set the night before. And so then she was like, I really like how like I really enjoyed how today was like my birthday and you were fully there for my birthday. And then once we got there, you just fully entered your mode. I probably went over my notes once we got inside the spot, like once or twice, just to remember where the new shit was gonna go. But I'm very much so just a loose. Everything's loose. I just want to be in the mode of fun and not really be thinking about anything.
I was writing down. So like for me, I think it's just probably like I gotta get more either comfortable with myself or whatever. Like I can't like if I like let's say if I had a show today, I can't just go up there and just do it. Like it's gonna come out, it's gonna sound real rough. I gotta like go over it a couple times throughout the day. Are you like you just go up there and just do it, or do you gotta practice it a couple hours before, like a day before? Like how do you do that?
Unless I'm trying some new jokes, it's like burned in my brain. Like the amount of 10s and 12s that I have done, I know what and then if I get bored, like if I'm up there and then I get bored because I never want to be bored. I always want to be like having fun and be in the moment. Then I'll for like some reason sabotage my own set and then put like so my opener, my first 3 minutes are always the same. But then after that, if I'm bored after those first 3 minutes, I'll throw in a fucking closer with a callback that doesn't make sense and then try to work my way out. Like I just want to have fun. Uh,
Yeah.
so I don't go over. It's just burned in my head. I go over it when I start to get into like 20s, 25s, 30s, 35s.
Okay.
Then I'm like, okay, let me actually structure something. But
Yeah.
even I kind of be like, oh fuck that. I don't feel like doing that no more. I don't. I just because I think that there's like a when I think about me on stage, I think it's like an energy transfer. The jokes
Mhm.
have to be good. But again, that goes without saying. Everything has to be good and funny and well written. But I think it's like an energy transfer. And when I'm bored, they feel that. And then like if
Yeah.
I'm excited and I do some dumb shit just because, then they go like, why do you do that? And I'm like, I don't know either. And now I'm present with them and I'm like, I don't know why I did that. I've never done that before. And then we kind of figure it out and that's fun for me. I don't want to
Yeah.
about I don't know. I don't want to think like the skeleton too much. If it's a tough room, then I'll stick to my tried and true, and I know what, and then I definitely know what I'm going to do because I do them, every night. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, does that answer it? I don't know. I'm just like not
Yeah.
fun. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do more is just be more in the moment. I think that night we had the show, it was just I mean, I'm pretty monotone anyways, but like it was just like I know this shit, I'm just gonna go with it, go with the flow, whatever happens. Cause sometimes when you just be too much on book, it just kind of you're not in the room. So
Yeah,
I just try to be I already know what I'm gonna say. if I want to change this tag up or whatever, or add much to it, I can. And so, yeah, I try to stay. That's what I've been trying to focus on, is just be in the moment and have fun.
But you killed at the show. You murdered. And so then I was like, oh, I gotta do like, all right, I gotta do well. I'm like, okay. And I love that. And I love when I'm with someone who they go up there and it looks effortless. You had the one hand in the pocket, holding the mic stand thing. I'm like, effort. And I'm like, effortless. I'm like, I love that. So I'm like, okay, cool. I gotta go up there. I gotta kill. And I like that got me like, you got me excited watching you go up. I'm like, cool, because now I gotta fucking,
Man, I had to do that because it was Kaylin went up and the mic kept going out. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna move. I'm just gonna stand right the fuck here. It just not move. Like that's why I did that. Yeah, the mic just kept going out. But then that's why I like that, because I was like, shit, I don't know how this gonna work. I think I might have had another joke planned, and I was like, I gotta move around on this joke, but I was like, I'm just gonna stand right here and shit. Yeah.
Crush.
I appreciate it. I love the fact that you do comedy in Chicago. I aspire to move there very, very soon. I honestly always boost up Chicago. Before I even wanted to do comedy, I just started going to Chicago, and I love it. Every time I go there, I feel rich. But I always encourage other comedians, if they want to get better, to go to Chicago, because I feel like it's a big enough scene to where you can grow, you can get enough sets in, but also it's in the Midwest. So that way, when you do start to travel, you can get more opportunities in the Midwest. You can fly East Coast, West Coast, South Coast, and it ain't gonna cost that much because, like, you know what I mean, you're in the middle of the country, so every flight is not too long. If anything, I would ask, how can you vouch for Chicago? Because I've heard people say like it's a B+ scene. It's not New York, it's not LA, but LA is just really actors just taking up stage time, you know, A-list celebrities, all that type of stuff. New York is just everybody and their mama in New York, and it's too expensive. I don't got that type of money. You know what I mean? Chicago is just like, I feel like it fits me. Like, why should somebody move to Chicago to do comedy?
Okay, don't. There's already too many, and I want to keep working. Don't move here. No fucking around. You should everyone should move to Chicago because the thing that's different when you leave Chicago, everything is easier. So like I travel around a lot, like you were just saying, which is like the prime benefit of like, okay, I'm in Chicago. Milwaukee is an hour and some change. Columbus is 2-3 hours and some change. Everything is everything. I took a train to Pittsburgh for like $80. Like it's good. You wanna be here because, and it's kind of counterintuitive. The city itself is so oversaturated with comedy that everyone is tired of it, to the point of where you can't just go up and do the kiki and ha ha. You have to make these people who have heard everything laugh. And then if you can make those, and then also like Chicago is very big on like identity politics. And so then all the shit that works when you're somewhere who hates a specific identity won't work here. And so then it's like, but if for some reason it's on your heart to really just hammer out like a trans joke or some shit, if you want to make it work, if you can make it work here, it will be easy everywhere else you go. Like that's really one of the main things that I have been like, fuck, I love this city for that fact. And then like all the different boroughs that we have. So if you're hitting mics or shows, say you hit 3 a night, you're surrounded by 3 different audiences. Laugh Factory is a kill box, which is like everybody wants to get there because it's like usually like younger people. But then it's also like families, and like 60-year-old women will have like their getaway girls trip there. And then like people from the West Side, the South Side, it's everyone there. If you go to Logan Square, that's kind of more like the, not hippie, but like the progressive kind of like hipster barista type, whatever. Go there and make them laugh. And then when you go from there, go to Old Town where like Zany's and Second City is, and they got money and they don't want to laugh at race because it makes them feel bad. If you can go there and make them laugh all in the same night, you got something objectively funny. And I think that is the biggest perk of Chicago. They're tired of this comedy shit. They fucking hear it every single night. What are you going to say that's original? And then can you make each of these different demographics laugh? If so, you're fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I know it's bad that the segregation is in Chicago, but for a comic, that's pretty that makes my nipple hard because I can just like I can try these jokes in front of Mexicans, Asians, everywhere. Like I love it. I feel like this is a
Yeah.
big ground that everybody should try to play in. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that's
I
what's up.
love that. I love that function of the city. I love that function. And then if you want to try that not like redneck shit, but like you want to try that redneck shit, go to the suburbs.
Yeah.
They'll love it. Like there's just so many different places where you can like just see if something's universally funny. And I think that's so important.
Yeah. As we start to wrap this interview up here, I always like to finish with 3 questions. So the first one is a heavy hitter. Who is on your Mount Rushmore for comedy?
Dave Chappelle. He's really the only one that I ever like looked up to. But then I would say Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy. I think he's cool as fuck, and I think that we're kind of similar in like Dave Chappelle is just like icon, look up to. But Eddie Murphy, I'm like, fuck, I'm that kind of energetic and I'm goofy and shit, and I like that. I think Pryor, because he taught everybody to be what they all are. I think it's kind of like disrespectful to not mention Pryor. I could have mentioned him first because Chappelle is first for me. My eyes. Fourth one. There's 4 people on Mount Rushmore, right? Mount Rushmore. Who's someone that I love to watch? I don't know who else I would put on that. I don't know who else I would put on there. Those are the 3 that I think I could watch all of their work. I have watched all of their works over and over and over, and I'm still learning shit. I'm not just watching to laugh.
Yeah.
What else do I watch to learn? Okay, well, this one probably is this doesn't age well. But when it comes to like storytelling, and something that I've watched to like learn how to punch up a mundane story is Louis C.K.
Yeah. No, I like Lewis. I definitely like Lewis.
Yeah.
I feel like whatever he did, I don't remember all of it, but that's just white people behavior. So I don't really got anything to do with me. I just feel like, oh, that's just what white people do. I don't know.
That ain't us. Don't bring that shit to me. That's y'all.
Kieron, tell people why they should listen to Comedians in Bed.
Listens to comedians what?
Tell people why they should. First of all, no, I'm gonna change that. That's gonna be the next question. I forgot the order. I do a whole order. I didn't mess it up. It is what it is. Whatever. Tell people. I mean, what words of encouragement could you give to any comedian listening to this right now?
Okay. Words of encouragement is this thing that I've said the entire fucking podcast. Sink or swim. Sink or swim. Don't be an idiot because you do need to, like, if you want to get videos and clips, you need to pay for that. Don't be an idiot and drop everything and be a nomad. But stop half-assing shit. Stop it. Like that you have never heard of that working ever. You've never heard someone be like, oh, I created the iPhone because I was just half-assing it. You've never heard that. Never. Ever. Stop half-assing shit. Go fully in. And then if you can't, figure out what is telling you that you can't. And is it truly this some like fucking fear thing that you have? Or is this not the right thing? And that's pretty tough and hard, but I am quite tired of half-assers clogging up the already polluted scene. Everything, it's already so oversaturated. Either be in this shit so I can respect you or be out of it so I can respect you and then watch you be happy and live a good life and have a wife and kids. This shit is not fucking easy. This shit is horrible. Everyone looks worse when they join comedy. It's the greatest job on the planet. I love this job. But the work, people don't understand this fucking work. And I think the only way to fully understand it is to be in it.
Bing bong.
Yeah, no, you didn't lie. You didn't lie at all. Kieron, tell people why they should listen to Comedians in Bed.
Okay. Oh, why they should listen to Comedians in Bed? Because Ty is fucking hilarious and he had me. What the fuck? What are we talking about? I think that's the simplest thing right here. We just had a great conversation. 2 chocolate men. Well, like waffle colored or like Chipotle chip or something, but I still count. No, but this is great. You get to hear the inside of, it's not just like bits the entire time. It's actual information and knowledge, and then just like the journey of two people, which is, in my opinion, more important. Because like I said, also, you get to learn shit. And you should like to learn. We should never try to stop learning. Always learn. And you learn here.
Kieron, I feel like if it was to ever be a human form, we would be the best Reese Cup pieces there ever could be. I don't know.
You'd be a damn good Buckeye. Hell yeah.
Kieron, tell people where they can find you at, man.
You can follow me Instagram and TikTok at KI_Almighty. Facebook is my name. Venmo, Cash App, my name. Just at Kieron Harrell. Remember that. Send me $5. February wasn't that long ago. You still owe me something. That's it. That's me.
Hey man, check us out next week. We drop every Tuesday live on my YouTube channel at TYE Comedy. Also, you can listen to this wherever you listen to podcasts. So make sure you subscribe, rate, and review. Follow us on IG at Comedians in Bed Podcast. We're so glad that we had Kieron Harrell on here today, man. We had a good time together today. We had a good time on our show. Check out his show. He'll be coming to a city near you. If you're in Chicago, be sure to check him out at the Laugh Factory. Kieron, we appreciate you. We see you guys next week.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.